Good afternoon, or good evening I should say. It's about 8 o'clock I think, on a Wednesday night. These birds are really annoying. They're making a bit of noise. Thought it was time to do an update video. So I haven't done a Nofap video for quite a few months, and a couple of people said they were looking to hear from me, so I think it was, time to put something together. So where have I been? I've been in the community still. I've been getting around. I just haven't really had any desire to make any update videos or anything like that. I suppose a few different reasons. I think regarding, if to specifically talk about Nofap, I think I'm on day 84. Day 84 or day 85, I don't really know. But I'm about a week off day 90. And that's a that's a pretty big milestone for me, because I haven't got that far in quite a long time. And for me, it's like, I have talked about this in the past, I remember from other older videos that I've done, but it's like you get to a stage when you're doing Nofap, you get to a stage where you don't need to really think about it too much anymore, or you don't have to be so conscious of it anymore, because you've spent enough time away from that stuff, if you know what I mean, to shift your focus onto other things. And your whole perception, your perspective on what you're doing in life, and how you deal with bad events and things like that, that changes. Coping mechanisms, they change. And your desire to do that sort of PMO stuff, it goes further and further, way down the track, and you can leave it behind. Again, that doesn't mean you don't have urges or things like that, or thoughts. Of course not. That still happens, but the way you deal with it becomes a lot easier in a way, especially if you have other methods of coping with troubles and stress and that sort of thing. Or being alone and stuff like that. So I think for me, ultimately, I guess over the last few months, it's I suppose having a forced perspective change on myself. There was a stage where I had to consciously draw the line, and I had to think, well, doing stuff that I hate is not healthy for me. Something that Jordan Peterson talked about, and I've taken a lot of his advice and a lot of his lectures and stuff on board. He's pretty good to check out, with this sort of thing, being responsible and that sort of stuff. And I suppose I just listen to some of the things that he says, or some of the things that I read about being responsible. Doing the right thing, having virtue about who you are, and putting your best self on for for your own well-being, but also for the people around you, and that sort of thing. So it comes down to basically about picking the right choices, doing the right thing, and that's a conscious choice that you have to make. And it took me a little while to get there, but yeah, it's something that I've really consciously moved myself into. So as a result, because I've sort of changed my perspective on things, I suppose my reliance on focusing too much on Nofap techniques and that sort of thing have sort of I've sort of been able to leave them behind a bit, and sort of move forward with everything. And I guess just for another thing as well, it's just I've been making Nofap videos since middle 2016. It's a couple of years ago now, like over 2 years ago. And there's a part of me that thinks while making Nofap videos is good, and being involved in the community and encouraging one another, it's a good thing. It's like there gets to a stage in your life where the endeavours that you're pursuing, you think, or they'll get to a stage where you're doing an activity and you'll think, or for me anyway, I'll think, it's time to leave something behind. And a part of doing Nofap is about leaving Nofap behind in a way as well. I mean, it's something that you're always participating in. And I'm still locked into the community, and I try and stay connected on the Reddit platform a little bit, and still subscribe to Nofap guys as well on YouTube, and sort of encourage them along the way, and just to see how people are going and that sort of thing. So I'm still involved in a way, but in my daily life outside of all that, it's just, as I said, it doesn't. Yeah, you don't really need to focus on it too much anymore. Like I said ages ago that one of the big things I was doing when I was going through stages of really having to fight this sort of thing was that one of the first things I would do when I would get home from work was go on YouTube and check out all the people that I was subscribed to see what new Nofap videos they were doing, and I would try and watch them and keep up to date and all of that sort of thing. And in a way that was detrimental, because because I was so focused on doing Nofap and performing in Nofap and all that sort of thing. The Nofap became the focus, and that made me indirectly focus on what I was trying to abstain from, if that makes sense. So in sort of putting Nofap behind me in a way, I was able to that sort of helped me not think about the other stuff in that indirect way, if that makes sense. And I think you've got to do that at a certain point when you're dealing with this sort of thing. Well, for me anyway, it was important for me to do that. So going back to what I was saying about making videos, it's just, there gets to a point where I don't feel the need to do that anymore, to make Nofap videos. And there are lots of guys, like over the last couple of years, that they just haven't made videos anymore, and I don't even know why. There's a lot of guys. There's Mac Attack and there's Heaven Storming. Those are two guys that I really connected with. I haven't heard from either of them in a long time. But maybe it's because people really don't really put end points on their YouTube channels or their Nofap videos generally to say what they're doing so much. Some people just stop doing it, and that's fine. For whatever reason, maybe they overcome, maybe they pursued something else, maybe, I don't know. So I'm trying to create this video as I suppose a form of a little bit of closure in a way. Like I don't know if I'm going to stop making Nofap videos. I may make another one down the track at some point. I'm not really sure. But yeah, considering I've been doing this for 2 years, I think it's time to move on to something new. It's time to put that focus of self-improvement and, I suppose, pivot it onto something different in life. Find meaning in new things. I think that's an important thing to do. And I think about this year and I'm like, man, this year's just flown by, and we're nearly in December, and I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I can't even remember a lot of... I don't really know off the top of my head anything worthwhile that I've done this year so much, other than, it's just been a normal year. I've just gone and worked in my job, done, pursued hobbies and stuff like that, and just done normal things. Saw friends, went to a music festival in March. That was a while back now, and I don't know, it's just been a normal year, and there haven't really been any highlights so much, other than maybe a couple of things, I guess. And I think, well, I don't really want to repeat next year of a repeat of this year. So going into next year, I hope to make a lot of new changes, forceful changes for myself. There's new things I've got to step into, and I don't really want to repeat what I've done this year or the year before, especially when it comes to Nofap stuff. I think it's time to move forward and yeah, just start to focus on new things. Start to live life, but in doing that, being able to let go of things that you are finally able to handle. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not going to relapse. I mean, of course, everyone in Nofap at any streak is susceptible to relapse. I'm not saying that I'm never going to relapse again. I'm not suggesting that at all. But I think it's time to move forward. I might make videos in the future, and I'm going to keep connected with the community. So you'll see me around YouTube a little bit, and I'll be on the Reddit page, and I'll still be around. It's not like I'm leaving completely or giving up on it. I'm not. But yeah, I just wanted to make that video because just to keep people updated who were interested in my journey and all that. Might do a follow up at some point because this video's gone on long enough. So thanks for watching.